It's more complicated than that, and there's more to it than that, it seems to me. If one only looks at the good and denies the shadow, the evil, the shadow in ourselves, the shadow in the nature of society, then, and only looks at the good and believes in the good, you leave yourself vulnerable and unwary. You can be attacked from all sides by those evil forces. You don't eliminate those forces by pretending they're not there. They're still there for those who haven't bought into the new view of things, and there are an awful lot of people who haven't bought into the Aquarian view, let's say. So my point is one has to stay aware of both the possibilities and the difficulties, rather than an either-or position. And by being aware of both, taking both into consideration, that humans have nasty aspects as well as good. And that holds, by the way, for all the Aquarian conspirators as well. Anybody who claims only to be made up of the good and of somehow to overcome the evil is overcompensating, denying, and everything we know about human beings suggests that's a way of avoiding who they are. So, to my mind, only to subscribe to the good, the possible, and not pay attention to the other, trivializes the human condition, because it means that we're not dealing with full human beings in their full organizational and institutional and social ramifications, and until we do that, we can't really accomplish the good.
Brings us back to the point we started with in a way, and that is we live in an age of uncertainty. It's hard to know. I mean, you can read a lot of history and still not have a grasp of the structure of history. Even historians debate, you know, what the real structure of history is.
Sure, but knowing that and knowing those arguments enriches your appreciation, one's appreciation of both the problems and possibilities in being human. There's no gain in ignoring that in order to have some simple-minded sense of surety and certainty. That's what bothers me about the moral majority as well as the New Age people. It isn't just, it's any group that chooses to ignore the rich setting, context of ideas and criticism of those ideas in order to find comfort in some half-thought-through story.
And I gather from your perspective that virtually includes spokespeople for every point of view, from every establishment to every alternative or anti-establishment group.
Absolutely. So we have most people running around believing in, espousing, insisting on ideas that float in the middle of nowhere and aren't adequate for dealing with the problems and the possibilities that this world has. They're just not enough.
I guess what bothers me about this is that when I take you seriously, and there's good reason to, it paints a rather frightening picture of our current condition, given the dangers that we're exposed to.
We are in a very frightening situation, not only in terms of nuclear war, but in terms of the environment, in terms of the political processes we use. We're in a very strange state of affairs. This has happened a few other times in human history, but where the mythology comes apart and everything is up for grabs. And in our case, what compounds that is the enormous interactive density of interdependences and relationships and the like. We really don't know how to deal with that, but we're not going to learn how to deal with it if we take simple-minded approaches to it.